Hello everyone, CM Freeze here. First off, no, I'm not a Sasquatch. I just wanted to wear my Atlanta Hawks jersey for this Atlanta Hawks video. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm insecure. With the NBA preseason officially kicking off tomorrow, Friday, October 4th, and the Atlanta Falcons playing Thursday Night Football tonight against their division rivals, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I thought, what better time than for me to release my NBA off-season video of the Atlanta Hawks. Basically, I'm going to go over every single move the Atlanta Hawks, at least the significant moves that they made in the NBA offseason, grade them, and then talk about, do I think this Atlanta Hawks team is going to be better or worse this year with the decisions that they decided to make in the offseason. Now, with the four pro major sports, football, basketball, baseball, and hockey, NBA definitely has the least amount of stuff to talk about in the offseason. You look at the NFL, they have a 53-man roster, so a lot more moving pieces. Then you look at MLB and NHL, they both have deep, in-depth farm systems, and they both have rosters of over 20 plus players and so many farm systems that go along with it. The NBA only has a roster size of 15 plus a much less in-depth farm system than both the MLB and the NHL has. So it has a lot, and I mean a lot less players than the other main sports. So a lot less to talk about in the offseason, seeing as you only have 15 real guys. And of those 15 guys, 5 of them are like bench warmers that aren't ever going to see any play. That's the same case with the Atlanta Hawks. There's only 2 big moves that they actually made this offseason that's even worth me talking about. Yes, there's a bunch of guys that they signed, but most of these guys are, like I just said, bench warmers and are guys that are basically never going to see the field. So I don't really think I need to talk about it. I'll go over their depth chart at the end. Like I said, a couple of guys that they signed to two-way contracts and are never going to see the court unless if they see the court, our season's done, is basically they're those kind of players. But the first main thing that I want to talk about is the NBA draft. So the Atlanta Hawks were originally projected to have the 10th overall pick in the NBA draft. But then the NBA gods looked down upon Atlanta and they decided to gift them with the first overall pick, which they selected Zachariah Rishashir. Now I'm going to be having his highlights here in the background because I figured that was a lot more appealing to look at than just a picture of him and his stats. Now, even though the Atlanta Hawks got the first overall pick, and I will never ever complain about going up in the draft for free. We went from 10 to 1 for free. Unfortunately for the Hawks, this was seen as one of the weakest draft classes in a very long time in the NBA. There was no clear-cut number 1 overall player, or even a clear-cut number 2 overall player for that matter. You look at the last couple of years, and there was Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson. Both would have gone 1 in this draft class. 2 years before that, Pablo Banchero, Chet Holmgren. Both of them would have gone before Zachariah Rishashir in this draft class. There's usually always a clear-cut guy or a clear-cut couple of guys. This year, that was not the case at all. I believe if Zachariah Rishashir was in last year's draft class, he would have gone in between probably 5 and 10. So realistically, Atlanta probably could have gotten this guy at 10 last year if if they didn't move up in the draft class at all. However, with that being said, other teams also are not improving in the draft, so it's not like other teams are getting superstar players. The Atlanta Hawks still got who they believe to be the best player in this draft class. And I believe that Zachariah Rishashir was the best fit for the Atlanta Hawks. If you guys remember, I did make a video saying I would have preferred Alexander Sarr or Donovan Clingan, but seeing how bad they did in the Summer League, you know what? Maybe the Hawks did make the right choice. Only time will tell. That's why they're getting the big bucks and not me. Now, my biggest issue with Zachariah Rishashir, and the main reason I didn't want Atlanta to draft him, is because he's a high floor, low ceiling kind of player. And what I mean by that is I know that Zachariah Rishashir is going to be at least above average in the NBA. He's going to be someone that's going to be able to give me 10 to 15 points a night. He's going to be able to play good defense. I know he's a really good catch and three shooter kind of guy. If you're looking at these highlight tapes here, most of his highlight tapes are, see, look at right there, catch and shoot 3. That's what he specializes in. He's a catch and shoot 3 kind of guy who has above average athleticism. However, with Zachariah Rishashir, how much better can he really get? Like I said, I don't ever believe he's going to have this superstar kind of potential. Maybe at best he'll be able to get 20 points a game, but I really think he's more like a 10 to 15 point 10 to 15 points a game kind of guy. I don't know how much more he can develop. He's already great at the catch and shoot three. He's not going to get any taller. I don't see him getting any more athletic as well. What I really like about Zachariah is his hustle. He is always sprinting down the field, as you can see here in this play. He is constantly looking to make plays on both ends of the ball. However, I believe he has so much hustle to make up for his lack of athleticism. I believe that he has, at best, average athleticism. Compared to some guys in the NBA, obviously LeBron is on a whole nother level. But some of the top guys in the league, some of the top threes in this league, are much, much better athleticism than Zachariah Rishashir, and he has to make up for that with hustle. And I believe that Zachariah needs to show better playmaking. Most of his shots, as you can see here, are him catching the ball, maybe taking one or two dribbles, and then shooting the three. Yes, there are times where he does show that he can be a playmaker and make plays. But in the NBA, with better defenders, I honestly, personally believe that Zachariah needs to get better playmaking. I think he's going into a great situation with Atlanta and Trae Young, one of the best playmakers and best passers in the league, who is going to be able to create shots for Zachariah. But what happens when Trae Young is not on the court? What happens if Trae Young gets hurt like he did last year? I believe that's significantly going to hurt Zachariah, and I need to show that he's a better playmaker. I need to show that he can create his own shots and his own separation. And like I said before, with his only above average at best athleticism, I don't know if we are going to see him be able to become a great playmaker in the NBA. Like I said, while I believe he is above average in a lot of things and a really good catch and three shooter, that is where he thrives, is the catch and shoot shot. Really good at the catch and shoot three. And with him being 6'9", he just adds more length and size to this team that we have not seen before. My biggest issue with him is, for a number one overall pick, he will never be able to actually play like a true number one overall pick. I believe, like I said, his ceiling, who knows what his ceiling is. He might already be really close to his ceiling, and like I said, I'm not going to complain about 15 points a night. That's good. However, he's not going to be the guy. He's just going to be a piece. And so while I love that he's a piece, and I love that we have Trae Young, he's not a face of the franchise. He's not a game changer. He's just an above average piece that we are having to pay the salary of the first overall draft pick. And now he's young, he's 19, he could develop into much more from us. I really hope he proves me wrong. I hope his playmaking increases. I hope his dribbling increases. I hope that he becomes a better defender. I hope he consistently just improves and becomes the best possible version of him. I don't really know what that would be. We'll have to see with Zachariah. I'm glad we have him. He definitely makes our team better. But how much better, especially for the first overall pick, is where my major concern with him lies. The Hawks only had 2 draft picks, the first overall pick, and then they traded back up into the second round to draft a player who isn't even on the roster right now. I believe he's on their G League, something like that. But like I said, not even important enough for me to mention in this video. If you're upset about that I'm not talking about their 44th overall pick, okay, sue me. The second massive thing the Atlanta Hawks did is they traded DeAndre Murray. And me personally, I really like this trade for the Atlanta Hawks. Now, elephant in the room. We traded DeAndre Murray for 3 first-round picks. We traded him for a lot. And what we got in return for him is, yes, less than what we traded him for. I don't think it's that much less. But we did lose out on value. I do not hate it all that we traded for DeAndre Murray. We were in win now mode. We just made a deep playoff run. I believe we made a deep playoff run, and then it was the year after that we traded for DeAndre Murray, where we still made the playoffs. We wanted that extra piece. We thought that Trae Young and DeAndre Murray would carry us to the promised land. They did not. Trae Young and DeAndre Murray both played really good separately, but together they did not play. When either one of them was hurt, I felt like that gave us a better chance of winning. There were games where DeAndre Murray was hurt, and then Trae Young would pop off and do great. And vice versa, DeAndre Murray would do great when Trae Young wasn't on the court. But together, they did nothing. I got so sick and tired of seeing Trae Young take the ball off, pass it off to someone off that wasn't DeAndre Murray, and Murray did nothing on the drive. And then they would flip it. Murray would take up the ball. Trae Young would just sit there and do nothing on offense, and then Murray would pass it to someone else or just take the shot himself. They had no chemistry together on offense. It's like they were two completely separate players on offense. There was no team basketball with those two. Both really good players, just never played well together. It just didn't work out. But I believe the pieces that we got were really good. We ended up getting 2 first-round picks back. Like I said, we did trade 3 and a pick swap. However, we do get Dyson Daniels, who was a first overall pick a couple of years ago. And Dyson Daniels, I think, is an incredible fit in this Atlanta Falcons team. Dyson Daniels is one of the best on-the-ball defenders in the league. He plays a 2 position, a 1 or a 2. He's one of the best on-the-ball defenders in the league. Now, offensively, he's not that good. His offense isn't there. But for an Atlanta Hawks team that's consistently top 5 in points every single year, but bottom 5 in defense, and like I just said, DeAndre Murray and Trae Young both would do absolutely nothing when they were both on the court at the same time. I love this. Substitute DeAndre Murray for Dyson Daniels because you're still doing nothing on offense, but now you actually got someone who's playing good defense, unlike DeAndre Murray. You got an on-the-ball defender who can cover their point guard. Trae Young doesn't have to cover their point guard anymore. Or you can just have Dyson Daniels cover whoever you want that plays the 1 or the 2. You can pick. Dyson Daniels is a great defender. Or if you need to do a defensive front, you can put Dyson Daniels in there and just let Trae Young run the offense. I believe that this pick helps Trae Young become even better, and we are fully building our team around Trae Young, which I love. We are saying, all right, we're going all in on Trae Young. We are building a team around Trae Young. We got Dyson Daniels, a 2, a defender. And then we got Zachariah Rishashir, a 3, a big wing. So we can have Trae Young do whatever he wants. Dyson Daniels can go play defense. Trae Young can either take the shot, we can run up plays with Zachariah to get him open. Trae Young can pass it outside to Zachariah. He can shoot the 3. We can do the pick and roll. Now we got some other players in here. EJ Liddell, we already traded away. Cody Zeller, bench player. And Larry Nance Jr. is actually a decent backup. That's all he is a backup. He's nothing special, but he will see minutes for us. He's an okay backup. Not much to say about it. And like I said, we got 2 first-round picks back, and I'm actually really happy with the 2025 pick we got. We didn't have a first... Well, technically, we actually do have a first-round pick in 2025. If the Sacramento Kings finish... it's either 12 or 13th. We have the Sacramento Kings first-round pick. It's either top 12 or top 13 protected. So basically, as long as the Sacramento Kings make the playoffs, we will get the Sacramento Kings first-round pick. We also have the Lakers first-round pick. Unprotected, by the way. Who knows how good the Lakers are going to be this year, man? I know the Lakers made the playoffs last year, but... Hey, I'm just saying, who knows truly how good the Lakers are going to be? LeBron's only getting older. Anthony Davis can't stay on the field. Who knows what's going to happen with JJ Redick? This Lakers pick could be very valuable. So we now potentially have 2 first-round picks. For sure, 1. Lakers is unprotected. What an incredible pick to get. And the fact also that we don't have our own first-round pick means we have no incentives to tank. We're actually going to play. We can just go and play and then just hope that... I guess we actually technically hope the Kings do good because we need them to make the playoffs to get their pick. And that the Lakers do really bad. And then we get another pick in 2027. Now, it's the least favorable between the Bucks and the Pelicans, so it's probably going to be in between 20 and 25. But that's still another player that we didn't have in the top 20 to 25. Maybe we can use that as a trade asset. So I really like this trade for Atlanta. Yes, in the long run, it was worse for us because we had Murray for 2 years, didn't win a single playoff series with him. And then we got less back than we traded for, but it wasn't a lot less back. So it wasn't a huge blow. It's not like a gut-punching, gut-wrenching blow. Especially because we traded away our own picks. So now as long as just we're good, if we make the playoffs this year, no harm, no foul. Now if we suck ass, if we do really bad, then we're screwed because our picks are unprotected. So we could do really bad and the Spurs could just get really good picks off of us. So it could end up being really bad if we are bad. But I don't think we're going to be significantly bad. I don't think we are going to be top 10 bad again. We could miss the playoffs. I could see us actually missing the playoffs. But I think at worst, we're a play-in team again, just like last year. Last year, we were the 10 seed and we lost in the first round. I think at worst, we are not going to do worse than we did last year. we are not going to, or we are not going to do worse than we did last year. So I think our worst is just doing what we did last year, if that makes sense. We aren't going to be worse than we were last year. We are not. So that is our absolute floor, is just repeating last year and then getting into the play-in. So now, just quickly looking over our depth chart here. Like I said, no more DeAndre Murray. That's the big guy that's gone. And DeAndre Murray is the only starter that is gone from our team. We have now picked up Zachariah Rishashir and Dyson Daniels. So we lose DeAndre Murray, and we pick up Zachariah Rishashir and Dyson Daniels. I'm completely fine with that. And we get 2 first-round picks in the process that we didn't have. I'm completely fine with this. Now, there is one thing I would like to mention. Why the fuck is Clint Capella still on our team? Good God almighty, I hate Clint Capella. Honestly, I would give this offseason like A-, B+. Maybe A- is too much. I would say I would give this offseason a B+. I really would give this offseason a B+ if we traded away Clint Capella. But Clint Capella is still on our team, and that pisses me off. Why? Why would we draft Okonkwo? Why would we draft him? Why would we draft him? We drafted him with I think 6th overall 4 years ago. He's going into his 5th year. He's going into his 5th year, and he still isn't a starter for us. Why is Clint Capella out there? You seriously watched Clint Capella last year and said, yeah, let's keep him. Yes, he's on the final year of his contract. I don't care. Cut him for all I care. Save $20 million. Go sign another player instead of Clint Capella. Why is he still on the team? Or do we seriously think Clint Capella is our best option? Yes, he's a good rebounder. Okay, great for Capella. He's a good rebounder. He cannot shoot. He cannot create his own shot. Isn't that good at defense. He doesn't try anymore. The only points he ever gets is when Trae Young just lays it up to him or in a pick and roll. He is terrible offensively, and he's not even that good defensively. Yes, he's a great rebounder. So what? And starting too? Why the fuck's he starting? You know what? If you don't want to cut him because of cap reasons or whatever, so be it. But why is he starting, man? Why is Clint... I do not get it. I do not get why Capella's still on our team. I think he makes us work. I think Big Double O is a better starter for us, especially in the direction that we are going. We are a young team built around Trae Young. If you get rid of Clint Capella, everyone else on the team's younger than him. I guess Bogey's old too. My bad. Actually, I'm capping of my ass right now. But I really don't get it. I really do not get it why Clint Capella is still on the team. Even if we only traded him for a 2nd-round pick, I know we traded John Collins for pennies, but I'd rather trade Clint Capella for pennies. Maybe we're going to trade him at the midseason. Maybe our plan is like, let's see how he does. But if he does bad, then he has no trade value. Maybe we're hoping he does good to increase his trade value. I don't really know. But our number one, obviously, is Trae Young. He's going to be our point guard of the future. We're building the team around Trae Young. But our number 2, Kobe Buffkin, he was our 1st-round pick last year, was really banged up, never saw the court. He did really good in Summer League. So this year, now with no DeAndre Murray, he will be our point guard when Trae Young needs a breather. I really hope to see good things from Kobe Buffkins this year. Didn't get to see him basically at all last year, so I'm hoping good things from him. At the 2, we got Bogey. I completely agree with that. Now, I believe that Bogey and Dyson Daniels are going to switch off the 1 and 2 based on what do you want. Do you want offense or do you want defense? Bogey obviously is much better offensively. Bogey is a really good offensive threat. Last year, Bogey was an excellent 6-man for us. I loved Bogey coming off the bench. He did phenomenal as a 6-man. It's going to be interesting to see how he does starting. I would not be surprised if Dyson Daniels starts some games. Or once Dyson Daniels gets into the groove of things with this team, we see a lot more of him because Dyson Daniels is a really good defender, as I said. So what do you want? Would you prefer Bogey's offense or Dyson Daniels' defense? I'm sure that both of them are going to get probably equal amount of playing time. Bogey probably a lot more. So I know that contradicts myself. But Bogey's probably going to definitely get more playing time. But Dyson Daniels is going to get a good amount of playing time too. Just depends. You want offense or defense? Then it's interesting here. We got Zachariah Rishashir starting as our small forward. Is DeAndre Hunter going to come off the bench? Last year, DeAndre Hunter came off the bench, and it actually worked out pretty well for him. DeAndre Hunter starting, not that good. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Right now, we got Zachariah Rishashir starting. It's going to be really interesting if he does start or not, but I like the 1-2 combo with him and DeAndre Hunter. DeAndre Hunter on his own, I do not like him. But now paired up with Zachariah Rishashir, DeAndre Hunter coming off the bench, I actually like that. I like that. It just all depends on how Risha Shear starts. Then obviously we got Jalen Johnson as the 4. Did great for us last year. I'm hoping for big things this year. He was doing great before he got hurt. Then Larry Nance Jr., as I talked about, he will definitely get some minutes. Probably not a lot, maybe 10 to 12 minutes a game at most. And then, like I said, centers, we got Clint Capella and Big Double O. And those are only the real guys who are going to see the court there. You see the 10 guys there, guys in the first row and the second row. Those are basically the only guys we're going to see. I highly doubt we see much of anyone else unless it's garbage time or players get hurt. Maybe we can see a little bit of Vit. He was on the team last year. Garrison Matthews was too. I'm hoping I don't see much of them, because if we do, then that means that things have gone terribly. So looking at this Atlanta Hawks team, like I said, we got a couple of young guys. Obviously, we got Zachariah. We got Kobe. Can he develop well when Trae Young's not on the court? Jalen Johnson, can he take another step up and just become massive? If I had to guess, I would say the absolute best case scenario for this Atlanta Hawks team is we finish as the 6th seed. I think the 5th seed is pushing it. I think obviously with Zachariah being a rookie, he's going to have to get into things. Kobe we're going to have to see how he does when Trae Young's not on the court, because that is the bad thing about losing DeAndre Murray, is now when Trae Young's not on the court, our offense, if it completely revolves around him, he needs to be on the court a lot. And when he wasn't, DeAndre Murray was there to take over for minutes. Like I said, off the court, they were both great. It was just on the court when they struggled together. So how are we going to do when Trae Young's not on the court? How is Zachariah going to do when he doesn't have someone making plays for him? Why the fuck is Clint Capella still starting? That's why I think 6 is our absolute high. That might even be a little too high, but I think if everything goes well, Trae Young continues to play Trae Young basketball and not get hurt. Zachariah plays as good as advertised. Kobe is able to step up for Trae Young when he is not on the court. Dyson Daniels is able to play great defense. DeAndre Hunter plays great coming off the bench. Clint Capella isn't hot ass. Jalen Johnson takes a step up. I believe if all these things come together, we can get a solid 6 seed. Maybe 5, but that's pushing it. I wouldn't say that. I would say 6 is our best, and like I said, our worst is 10th. We're not going to do worse than we did last year. We simply are not. Losing DeAndre Murray, but then picking up Zachariah and Dyson Daniels, we are not going to do worse than we did last year. I truly believe that. Also, Trae Young was hurt for a lot of the season. We had so many injuries last year. So I believe we're going to be in between the 6th seed and the 10th seed. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching my Atlanta Hawks offseason video. Let me know what you think of this. Leave me comments down below if you agree or disagree with my assessments, and peace out.